I still don't know this woman. She said that I did something to her. She's a whack job. I know nothing about this nut job. She's sick, mentally sick.
A civil jury today ruling that not to be true in under 3 hours. While the jury did not find that E. Jean Carroll proved Trump had raped her, they unanimously found he had sexually abused her in a department store in the mid-90s, and that he defamed her when he later branded her a liar.
She ran into Donald Trump and he asked for her help, she says, picking out a present.
She says that he raped her inside a dressing room in the lingerie section.
It's a totally false accusation.
Trump's defense team
Get your camera out of my face.
claimed Carroll concocted the lie to sell her book about her experience.
You know, it's hard to prove a negative. Say you stole my pen, prove you didn't do it. How would you prove it? Say you didn't do it, right?
Carroll's lawyers called 2 other women who claimed Trump assaulted them and reminded the jury of this now infamous tape.
Just kidding. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. Grab them by the do anything.
Trump appeared in a video deposition, his own words used against him.
You could do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Trump also declared,
She's not my type.
while mistakenly identifying a photo of Carroll for his former wife, Marla Maples.
That's my wife. Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that?
The person you just pointed to was
I
E. Jean
see.
Carroll.
Who is that?
That's Carroll.
Carroll, because it's very blurry.
Trump now must pay Carroll $5 million in compensation. He says he'll appeal the verdict, today repeating his denial.
The verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time.
E. Jean Carroll, who was smiling as she left court, said in a statement,
Today, the world finally knows the truth. This victory is not just for me, but for every woman who has suffered because she was not believed.
so can a man who famously declared,
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
now go on to win the White House as a legally confirmed sexual abuser?
Absolutely a shame.
Steve Clemons is our man in Washington, D.C., and he joins us now. Steve, we'll get to the fallout for Trump in just a moment, but does this win for Carroll open the door for other claims?
Well, that's a very interesting question, but the answer is probably not. It basically leaves open the door for E. Jean Carroll to pursue the other case she had, which is another defamation case against Donald Trump. But she had an opportunity that most women don't have, and most adult survivors got a 1-year window to bring cases for cases of things that happened long ago. As you mentioned, this happened in the 1990s. She is now one of those 26 women who publicly said that Donald Trump had abused them that had a pathway. Others do not at this point.
And so, you know, Trump's running in 2024, and all of this, it has no bearing on his ability to run. Do you think his Fifth Avenue theory is about to be tested? What do you think?
I think it's being tested frequently. Look, I mean, Donald Trump is someone who has continued to act like gravity doesn't apply to him and that he can get away with outrageous behavior. We're beginning to see the gravity switch turn on in this case, and of course other cases in which he and his organization have been found either criminally liable or culpable. So you've got a situation now where that theory is being tested, and we're going to see what Americans think about sexual abuse towards women, which is a really sensitive issue in America.
Well, let's not pretend this is the only thing he's facing, though, Steve. I mean, there's a string of other legal concerns. There's election tampering allegations, there's his involvement in the January 6 riots, there's classified documents he took from the White House. I'm sure I've forgotten 15 others. Like, what's the likelihood that at some point one or several of these will just sink in?
So, Waleed, this is what you and I have talked about before, and many of these other cases in Republican minds rank as more serious than the Jean Carroll case or other cases that have been brought against Trump. What he did on January 6th, what he did with classified documents, what he did with election meddling in Georgia. If convictions were to come in on those cases, I think it changes not only the gravity for some senior Republicans in the GOP, but it takes away many, many independent voters who are neither Democrats nor Republicans who may find it hard to support that person in a presidential race. So, it's still hypothetical, but I think any one of those other cases, if they came in with an indictment and conviction, would be super serious.
Steve, it's so late where you are, it's early. So thank you very much for speaking to us. We really appreciate it. We'll let you go.
My pleasure.